Okay, so I have gone through so many changes or transformations in the past, uh, like 4 or 5 days. I took a trip to Pennsylvania to visit some friends, and I had a really cool energy exchange experience. We just sort of like touched hands, and it went through my body, and I could feel it like just right here, and it felt like these cold little sparks, like they were going through all my nodes, and it made me feel like icy hot. And it was like before my cells were fizzing so fast that it was kind of uncomfortable. I wasn't sleeping very well. But then as soon as he did that, I just calmed right down. I calmed down immediately after that. And then that night, I was able to see so much more. I could see, I can see like it's like it looks like saline plasma, but it's almost like a fabric, but it's like I can move it around, and I could see all kinds of colors in it, like the whole, wow, it's like the whole spectrum, but it's like these pastels, but it's also neon. It's pretty much every color you could possibly imagine. And then, so after a few days, I decided to come back to Connecticut, which was yesterday. I came back yesterday. And oh man, I feel like so much has changed. I left the PA and then came back only 4 or 5 days later, and it's like the environment. Like I knew that it was getting kind of misty here in Connecticut, and I knew that my hearing was like there was always so much mist. There was like so much mist everywhere, and I could see all the colors and stuff in it better that way. And I knew that I was sort of like almost like I was breathing it in, so it was like I could feel it in my throat, and I was adjusted to it. So like when I went to Pennsylvania and then I came back, it was like I hit this wave of this environment that I created. Because as soon as I came in, it was like I felt I felt it go into my lungs, and then I felt my neck right here. It was like all of this was like my cells were or changing or fizzing, or it was like my cells felt totally different, but it was only here, and it was as if I had to readjust to another environment completely, because it was almost like a little panicky about it because it was just so sudden. But Spirit was telling me that I needed to leave my environment so that I could come back and see just what kind of creation I made. And I was like, wow, this is a big difference. It's awesome. And even the colors are totally different. And it's only been a couple of days since then. And it's like, oh man, tonight was awesome. Oh wow. I was upstairs and I was trying to go to sleep. So I'm sitting in the dark, and I always see things a lot like better at night. And it's like I could see all the energy, and I could literally see all these different entities of different planets. Probably, they didn't look like, some of them looked like people, some of them looked like holograms, and some of them looked mm, like big huge beings or something, like a something like a like a dinosaur, or I think some of them were dinosaurs maybe, but they looked like other dimensional beings, and I could see them. They were just sort of like walking around, like really huge. And it wasn't like super clear, but I could tell that there was definitely something going on there. And then I looked at my cell phone. I was checking something on it, and they were telling me that I'm connected to the power grid, that I'm actually connected to the grid. So it's like anything that my frequency hones in on, they told me I could literally think about it. I literally think about it. And it's like I become a part of that. So they were like, check out your cell phone. So that's when I checked it out. And they're like, okay, now look at the space around you. So then I put it down. It was like I could look at a totally different frequency. They said it was my frequency because my cell phone is directly related to me, a cell phone, cell bodies. I was like, what? That's so cool. They said everyone has that. Everyone has that. And just by looking at that frequency, it's like a reflection and I can immediately view my own frequency if I ever tend to, like they said, it's kind of like a chameleon, where wherever I am, I sort of like blend into whatever that frequency is. So if I'm ever like thinking of something or around somebody and I'm in their frequency, I tend to blend, and then I just gotta, I could just, they said it's love. They said what it is love, and that's the frequency. So, but if ever, I guess it was just to let me know. So I looked at that, and then I looked at the space around me, and it was like, whoa. It was like pinks, and I mean, it was neon colors, but mostly pinks and purples and blues, and then I started seeing like these diamond, like diamond flecks almost everywhere, and it's all these little twinkling. Oh man, it was so pretty. So I'm like, of course I want to play with it. So then I just start like moving my hands around through it, and then some of the entities would come up to me, and I can see that they're touching me, and I can see the actual energy arc, like a synapse or something. I could actually see the arcs being created between our fingers, and I mean it's all everywhere, but it was like you could see where it was thicker, and the energy was a different color. And I decided to start playing with it, so I just started going like this and like imagining what color I could make it, and it literally started making it like a bubble, or I could make it happen in the center, and then I would kind of go like that, and then it would like really fast, as if I was imagining breaking off the extra ends, and then it would become this bubble. It would become this bubble of that color, and I could like literally look at it, and I could imagine it coming to me, and it would come to me, and then I could see it. Because when I look at my hand now, and at night, I can actually see the different colors of my own light body, and I don't think I've ever been able to see that up until tonight. So then, when I get that bubble of color, I can see it go into my skin, and then I would see it go through my my I don't even know, it wasn't even veins, it was like just going through my body, and I was like, what? I could actually take my hand, and I could like just think about a color or feel something, and I could actually see it writing on my. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I mean, it's like 5:10 a.m. and I can't even sleep because I'm so excited about it. I was like, I gotta share this immediately. People got you all can do this. This is, oh man, this is so cool. And then I tried something else where I went like this, and then I imagined it being like a plate spinning in the middle of like a galaxy, right? So I'm looking at it, and I'm watching it like form, because I'm just it's like I don't even picture it. It just happens because I know that's what I want to do. It's so interesting. It's like you don't have to picture it anymore. I can literally, this space now becomes my imagination. It's so wild. So I'm watching it, and it's spinning, and I can see like the more I hone in on just that that disc, that spiral, and then I move it like with my eyes. I kind of like follow it up and then down, and it just like creates even more like thickness and color in the string that it's on, and more thickness and color of the plate moving. And it was like the more purples and blues and pinks, and then it would start like the more I held it, it would become like with the diamonds, and it would start to just shimmer. I was like, what? And then at one point, I think it actually formed into an actual being or something, because I saw it move away, and I was like, I can't see it completely, but this is by far the biggest leap in vibrational acuity I've ever. I mean, wow. And then to make it even more awesome, right? I'm like, man, I can't sleep. I gotta get up. I gotta go do something. So I come back downstairs, and I'm like, okay, let's go outside and have a cigarette. So I go outside, and I look at the stars, and oh man, there is like, remember how I was saying that I could see, the two circles, and you can see the northern and southern constellations, and I said I could see 3 of them, and this was like probably a week ago, about that, something like that. and I could actually see that in the sky within my span of view. But this time when I went out, it was like literally, I just walked out my front door next to the road, looked right, and it was like all the stars were like right there, right there. It was just like 1/5. It was like 1/5 of the sky. It was all right there. And all the stars were not just these little things far away. It was like they had their own aura. It was like a star, but it was no divine, there was no line. It was just like this hue around it. And I was like, what? This is amazing. Gosh, you know? I'm so elated right now. I don't even know what else to say. It's just like a fantastic experience. Oh yeah, so then they were like, okay, well, what do you want to see? And I was like, oh boy, I want to see rainbows. I want to see all kinds of stuff. They're like, okay, imagine it. So I imagined the highways. I imagined the highways having being rainbow. You know, like, I don't know, like just rainbow. Maybe not actually dyeing the pavement, but just having this, maybe like a water thin, like a thin vibrational sheet that just fills up all the highways, but may have it a lighter color so that it just feels soft. Oh man, that'd be so cool if the highways were just like super pretty. So like, okay, cool. And then I asked, or I envisioned I envisioned clouds covering the whole earth, but like real thin. Well, not thin, like mist. I don't know, something about mist, because then it's like effervescent, but it's a good canvas because it's white, and it's just fun because, you know, who doesn't want to touch clouds? So I was like, yeah, it'd be really cool if you could just like cover everything and then put like a block of like this pretty red, I mean every color of the spectrum, you know, but like really fan it out, or like do little blocks. I mean, oh man, that'd be so cool to just have more color everywhere. So I was just thinking of all these ideas that it would look really pretty. Wow. What else? I feel like I have experienced a whirlwind of awesomeness in the past week. Like, just amazing. Just today I was looking at the clouds tonight, and it was like the same place that those all those constellations were right there, and I was looking at, it was like I was looking at the whole cosmos right there. And it was like before that, maybe a couple hours before that, the moon was out, and it was like all the clouds were just going over my house and coming from the sides, and they're all going to the same location. They're like forming mountains, and there were so many colors, and holy cow, you know. And even tonight, it rained tonight, and so I decided to start walking around in the rain because there were so many colors in the sky. I just couldn't not do it. And then right above my head, I looked right above my head because it's all this mist. All these clouds are like misty, and that's when I see all this color. I mean, I don't need the mist to see the color, but I think they know that I like clouds a lot. So I look up above me, and then there's like this, I don't even know how to describe this blue. This blue was like, I mean, it was the most vibrant. It was like another worldly blue. I mean, it's this worldly blue, it's here now. But it was just amazingly blue. Like electric blue. And vibrant. And it was right above me. It was so beautiful. And then it started raining, and I walked over to a parking lot right down the road, and I could see, you know, when you look at raindrops falling really fast everywhere, and you're like, oh, it looks kind of like random and chaotic. Well, I found that if I looked at one spot and then use my peripherals to sort of see down. You know how you do that? See like the whole space. And it was like once I finally honed in, kind of just like slowed down, and I saw everything move, all those little pieces were like, they would start like moving patterns, and it was like a harmony. I mean, it was just incredible what I experienced in one day. Like, whoa. And also, you know what? I just remembered this part. This morning, I was thinking about something outside, having a cigarette, and I thought about Mother Earth. I thought about Mother Earth, and I remember they had told me something about the 3 circles and the 3 like Earth, Moon, and Sun, and it was like they said it was like this. They had told me a while back that it was this age-old story that's played out in each and every one of our lives. They said those 3 parts, you'll find out when you find out. We're just telling you now so that when you do realize, you're like, oh, that's what you meant. So this morning was that day. I thought about, you know, Mother Earth and then Father Sky, and then I thought about, okay, well, Mom, Dad, and then you got the kid. Now, the number of kids, I don't know if that's really that important, but you got the kid, and our age-old story is like, the mom and dad are together, wedlock or not, you know, they have a kid, and then the kid comes out, so it immediately feels like maybe it's separated. You know, maybe that's just something that is a feeling that we get because we're now not a part of something we've been a part of for so many months. So then that creates, you know, a possible divide. And then you got, you know, that happening. So then that might cause this to happen. And then you got divorces, which is like, I mean, that's a big thing that we deal with, is the divorces. And, you know, the kids not getting along with parents, and the parents are like, you know, stressing out, and everybody's stressing out, and everybody's separating. And it was like, and then I think about my mom and me, and it was like, I get it. That's why there was so much space between the ground and the sky, and why I kept seeing the sky like coming closer down, because Mother Earth had us, and I truly believe that we're inside the Earth. Because when I think about all the other planets, and I'm like, there's gotta be other species of beings. Why are we the only ones on the outside of the planet? And I remember that a couple videos back I talked about, felt like I was reaching from the center of the Earth and like grabbing the fabric so that everything, I'm pulling it in, you know? So I get going so fast here, I lose my train of thought sometimes. So it's like, in that moment when I realized, and it was raining a little bit at the time, but not a whole lot. In that moment I realized that what they meant by that age-old structure that we, or you know, that we tend to have here on Earth is, the Earth gave birth to us, and then we felt separated, like a fear of falling, because, you know, they used to, I don't know if they really did that with the babies, you know, whatever. Something that we held so deeply, like a deep-seated fear. And we wanted our space, possibly. We wanted our space. And, you know, mothers, they just want to make their kids happy, like whatever it takes, you know. They'll do anything. A lot of times we forget that. They're just doing the best they can. They want you to be happy. So it's like, they're like, okay, we'll give you space if that's what you really want. We want our kids to be happy. And then maybe the Father of Sky thought that too, and just sort of was like, all right, we'll give you some space, you know, you can work it out and you know, grow up, because as you get older you tend to realize, man, they did so much for me, gosh. And then it's always in every single story that we create on TV or in a book. It's like the kid I mean, I think there's some movie with the twins that end up bringing the mom and dad together, you know, through like laughter and antics and shenanigans and stuff. And in that moment, I was like, holy cow, that's the whole reason for all this space. We simply created it. We were the co-creator of it because we wanted it. And in that moment, it started like pouring down. And it was like Mother Earth was so, and Father Sky were so happy that they were just crying these tears of joy. And then the wind picked up. I mean, it was like everything that I would realize in the moment, my immediate environment would just sing out to me in some way that was completely different a second ago. And oh man, just knowing and knowing the things that I've already experienced about the weather and everything changing and the sky, you know, I see it coming closer. And the stars are, I mean, I can't even describe it. I mean, I'm trying to describe it, but it's awesome. It's crazy awesome. And it's like, I realized that mom and dad, you know, Earth and Sky, they just needed somebody to hear it and realize it and be like in that moment where, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I don't want this space anymore. And that made me realize more about the video I did before that, where, you know, I feel like my mom and I are pulling these worlds together. Because, I mean, that's literally what's happening. This is happening. And it's easy for me to express because I see it. Wow. It's like I have Constantine eyes. I'm living in the middle of both worlds because I can exist in both. I can see them both. It's like I can see the material solidified world here, and then at night it's maybe that's the reason why they're different, because at night it's like I'm in another world, like I'm in the other world. It's just fantastic. So I don't know if you guys check out like your environment every day or anything, but you should check into that, because every day I make sure, every morning, every I mean, well, sometimes I just stand there and check it out, but I realize that sometimes when you leave and you come back, it's something totally different, and I'm just stuck in awe, like, this is the most amazing, this is the most incredibly awesome moment to ever exist, right here, right now. This is it. Like, this is the big awesome. This is it. I couldn't be more positively, absolutely sure about this than right here, right now. Every day just proves it more and more. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, gosh. Okay. Yeah. That's all I got. I have to share this. I have to share this, you know? I know there's others out there that gotta be experiencing this, or at least need to hear it so they can check it out. Oh, this is so cool. Okay, thanks for watching.